Cool.
Where
that's great.
Where in LA are you going, Rick? I'm from LA.
It's actually a guy's house out in the valley. He's got his own studio, which we all have now. Basically, the whole world's in your laptop now.
Well, let me tell you. I'm a little older than you, Rick. I'm 62 in a few weeks. When we went to the Valley in someone's studio, we were doing porns back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Remember those days, Rick?
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, this is Daily Fish. This is the interview show. I'm John Daly, coming to you from Myrtle Beach. He is Eric Fish-Schneider in Las Vegas. We're talking today to Rick Sorey. He is the legendary rock singer and keyboardist who has played with so many great bands like Whitesnake, Foreigner, Three Dog Night, Spencer Davis Group, Poco, solo acts such as Rick Springfield and Debbie Gibson. And for more on Rick, you can actually check out his website, and it's Rick Sorey, and it's RickSeratte.com. Rick, explain the pronunciation of your name, because you got two T's in there.
Well, I've been through a lot of different pronunciations. I mean, depends on what country you're in. In Spain, it's Serate. In
what
Portugal,
do you prefer?
It's, Portuguese is a bastard language. I mean, it's because they sailed all over the world from there. You've got Italian, Spanish, Latin, it's all gobbledygook. So you never know what you're going to get in Portugal, But hey, I'm used to it at this point. That's why my music company is Serrated Edge Music, and I put a Serrated Edge Night there, so maybe you'll catch that for the pronunciation.
But you prefer Rick Sorey, correct?
It's Rick Sorey, yeah, like the night.
It is Sorey. Ah, okay. You know what? All those years that we've played golf together, I never knew that. I always called you Rick Sorey. I thought the double T was silent.
Hey, close enough.
Okay, as long as you respond.
That's it. Are we communicating?
We should also tell folks you're going to be joining me for Hope for the Warriors Celebrity Invitational coming up in Wallace, North Carolina, and that's going to be August 27th to the 29th. Believe it or not, it's already sold out because you're there, Rick. So what I want to ask you is your golf game ready?
No. It's never ready. I mean, come on, John. We've been playing golf together for years. It's never ready. You got to ask me after the round. Were you ready? Well, let me look at my scorecard. Yeah, I guess I was ready today.
I look at people, Rick, and I go visual. Like, what's this guy look like? And the guy, you got a classic look. You look rock and roll wise a little bit. You probably get Tom Petty sometimes, or you might get a little bit. You look a little bit like Sammy Hagar. I just see a little bit of some of the facial similarities. But acting wise, there's a great English actor called David Warner, who's he's been up for Academy Awards. I like him because he was the head Klingon when the Klingons first made contact with Star Trek. So
yeah.
Is there any way you did some acting in your past and you're not telling anybody? Maybe.
Yeah, man. But hey, Star Trek, God, man, I wish I could have been on one of those episodes, man. Yeah, as soon as that thing came out, I was a big Trekkie, man. It's like I'm a big Star Trek fan. And now all those things we thought were impossible, the flip phone and all that stuff, we have them. And we have a Dick Tracy watch.
Absolutely.
Now, the kids now, they wouldn't even know who Dick Tracy, who the hell's that?
Yeah.
Right. They don't even know what Captain Kirk is. It's a brilliant. You're a science fiction person, and you're a celebrity, and I mean, I'm sure there's guys that go to your celebrity golf tournaments that are Trekkies or have been in science fiction movies, and I just wish once that the Starship Enterprise landed on a planet that had an acting school. But that's not taking away from you, Rick. I'm a big rock and roll guy. Like I said, I grew up in Los Angeles. I was so lucky to see Van Halen on the Sunset Strip. I saw Blue Oyster Cult when they were Soft White Underbelly play at the Rainbow. And
yeah, I remember that.
Remember those days, man? And I try to explain to kids, even my own kid, what it was like. And Daly's lived this also. What it was like to grow up with the British invasion and then the rock and roll of the 70s with Boston, Aerosmith. And you play some of these songs, and it's just, I think we're losing something with the music nowadays, Rick, that it doesn't have that kind of pattern and meter where every single song that we listened to as kids told a story in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Do you agree?
No, you're right, buddy. And I was on with Mad Max one day, and you guys know who Max is.
I do.
Great guy. And he said, Rick, what do you think is missing from music? And he said, why is the music now? What's missing? Because something's missing. And I said, well, who's the new Ray Charles? Who's the new Stevie Wonder? Who's the new Allman Brothers? I mean, they're not out there. And so I think a lot of it is because, they don't mean it. You have to mean it. I mean, I'm kind of a one horse. I come from a small town, so I only know one way to do it. It's 150% or nothing. So it makes it easy for me. But when I get up and perform, it's like, yeah, I mean everything I'm doing. And I think the kids now coming up, I mean, they don't have clubs to develop in where you've got drunks and hecklers and people throwing stuff at you. And, that's the normal development. Well, they don't have that now. They win a vocal contest and they put them out in concert. And I mean, there's no words in between of experience. That's why people look at Chris Stapleton and they think, oh, this guy came out of nowhere. It's like, no, man. He was out doing bars with his wife for 10 years before they let him cut him loose. They used him for his songs to make money. But honestly, nobody does those songs better than Chris. I mean, and they found that out, man. The guy's a great player and a singer. And if we had that still as a standard, that would be great. But I mean, he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right.
I mean, you get a few people. I saw Maggie Rose the other night, and I was very impressed with her.
Wow.
She's really bringing up a throwback almost, to rock and blues.
Daly, Rick brings up a great point. You being a guy that's a grunt that started out in garage bands and you played with your friends in bands in high school, I can guarantee you that. Am I right?
Yeah.
What's your take on the? Because you hit a point earlier that they win vocal contests, and yes, we see American Idol is huge right now, Rick, and we see the success of Carrie Underwood and what's the other one, Kelly Clarkson. But a guy like you. Do you give them as much credit or do you give them as much respect, or do you have more respect for the guys that did like the Richie Valens and the guys that started in their garages, Elton John, and they built their way up? I mean, right now they're just
come on, man. I mean, Sherry baby,
Frankie Valli,
Sherry baby. I mean. Come on, man. That was the street corner singing. We're lucky. The three of us, we're at an age where we're lucky because we got to live all the dream years of music, the golden age. That's what I call it. And we got the tail end of it. We got everyone from Sinatra and Nat King Cole. I mean, all the way up to, Whitney Houston, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, the Temptations, the Allman Brothers, the band, The Last Waltz. I mean, look at all the stuff that we got that the kids, they don't get that now.
Hey,
if you ask them, hey, have you ever seen The Last Waltz? And they go, what's that?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, what a great movie. And I just watched it the other night, just as a reminder. And it's pretty amazing how many great musicians, Van Morrison. I mean, people don't realize how many people, Bob Dylan, Mellencamp, Bob Seger, all of these, Tom Petty, all these guys took from Van Morrison. That's where they got that broken phrasing, was from Van.
Yeah.
He started it.
Absolutely. Hey, let me ask you this, Rick. Does it bother you when you hear a lot of the songs that you played? Like, for instance, your rendition of "Here I Go Again" is one of the best, and you do that at a lot of the tournaments. But I hear it on TV commercials now. Does that bug you that they still keep using all the old stuff on the commercials, and yet we're not cultivating good music like we would like back then?
Well, it's sort of the, that's where we're at now, buddy. We're at that age where the elevator music is now "Here I Go Again," and it used to be "Strangers in the Night," and now we're the oldies. But what they're finding out is, and I noticed they started a new format with country, and it's classic country.
Yeah,
and that's all it is. The older classic country stuff with Buck and Merle and Willie Nelson and all the stuff you don't hear anymore. And it's sort of the same thing. I mean, there was some great songwriting that went on.
Yeah.
Rick, real quick, guys, I'll tell you the impact of what you say is oldies. I live in Vegas, and recently there was a show, Rick. Remember these bands, Daly? 3 bands: Herman Hermits, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and the Monkees. Now, Mickey Dolenz is the only one alive from the Monkees. So there was
Paul Revere's passed away too.
Most of the bands with the kids of it, they sold out 5,000 seats. Okay, because people still love that music, and Dolenz was there, and I just think that there's still a passion for what we grew up with, and in those 5,000 fans, Rick, a lot of them were younger people. They said the demographic, like 60% of the audience was between 18 and 45. And that's a testament to guys like you that lived it and played in the 70s. And I got to ask one question for you. Of all the people you played with, who's the greatest artist that gave you the most inspiration that you actually played with?
Lou Gramm.
Oh, Foreigner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Good.
I mean, I'm lucky. I'm very blessed because I've gotten to play with Skunk Baxter, John Entwistle, Mickey Thomas, David Coverdale.
Great.
Some really great singers and players. But Lou, working with Lou just is right from the soul, and he means it. So he probably would be my favorite. Working with Lou, I really enjoyed working with him. And, he digs down in your soul, He's, and Paul Rogers is a favorite of mine.
Bad Company, for everyone out there listening. Bad Company, Lou Gramm, Foreigner. He brought up Mickey Thomas from the Starship, still sings the national anthem yearly at Raider games. If you're a football fan.
Yeah.
I'm getting the chills because John still listens to Dobie Gillis and all that crap from the 50s and 60s songs. I'm a 70s guy, Rick. If I hung out with you, man, we'd be having a few libations if you still do it, and then maybe a few puffs, and then listening. Hey, listen to this rendition. Let's go watch it. I have the video of Coverdale with Tawny Katane. Remember that, the video they did with the I think that's the song. Here We Go Again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, great stuff, man.
One of the best. Yeah. And I got to tell you, Rick, people look forward to when you're at a celebrity golf event. They always look forward to you hitting the keyboard and banging out that song along with a lot of others. And do you think you'll be doing it at Hope for the Warriors? You're going to be performing at all?
Well, we'll just I always I am, John. I always take it. You never know what's going to happen. I know Craig Morgan's going to be there this year, so he'll probably do cha-cha, and they'll probably have the Johnson boys, some local talent up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, man, I get up and sit in with those guys, man. That they get a kick out of it, and I do too, because it's local guys, man. Yeah. So stuff like that, I just so enjoy that now. Because, you know, when you're doing Monsters of Rock and there's 300,000 people out there, the closest person to you is probably 50, 60, 70 feet away.
Yeah.
So you never really get any direct eye contact with anybody, or you don't trade that, you know. So being closer to people now in the smaller venues where you trade off, you know. And then I have questions now when I do my gigs now, I stop and do a question period. Like, anybody got questions, and I'll tell stories, and, you know, people really enjoy that, and then I enjoy them, you know.
We were so blessed, Rick, to have in the 70s and early 80s, which I call a great blend of jazz rock, the band Chicago. Okay, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Give us and this is my favorite of Three Dog Night. Give us your best Three Dog Night story.
Best Three Dog Night. Don't forget the Sons of Champlin. They started a lot of that with the
Orleans, the band Orleans, or
with Bill Champlin. Yeah, man. Sure, I mean, everybody was a Bill Champlin fan, and no one knows who they are. Yep. Amazing. Back then, you had the horn bands. Wow. Let's see, my favorite Three Dog Night story. This is a funny one. We got done with the gig. I think we were doing the front row, and it's in the Round Theater, right, in Cleveland. And so we get done, and this is when Chuck, I did the last tour with all three guys.
Oh.
And after that tour, that was it.
Yeah.
They have never performed together after that. Now Corey's gone, so that's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
And Danny and Chuck, they don't talk.
So what caused that? Do you know what was going on there? Because that was in the news quite a bit.
I think a lot of it, I mean, for me, from my observation, and I never dug on anybody, but, you know, Chuck had so many problems with heroin. I think Danny and Corey just wore him out dealing with that and trying to do business every day. And then trying to get Chuck off of it and watching him, you know, basically ruin his life and start over.
Wow.
You know, he's doing great now. But
well, that's good.
I think give us the funny story.
Give us the funny story. I interrupted you when you were going into give us the good funny story.
Well, we get done, and, you know, Chuck's trying to get off the heroin, man. So there was nights where it was like, it was okay. And then there were other nights where they would play and sing off each other, and man, they're dancing together, and, you know, they're playing and singing off each other. Man, I got goosebumps. And that was the old Three Dog Night, man. I mean, those guys, they did stuff nobody could do. I mean, literally, they had 3-part harmonies, but it was like 3 individual lead singers playing and singing off each other. And it was just a different kind of energy. So we got done. We had a great show. We get back to the hotel, and we're at the point where, you know, Chuck's got to have somebody to watch him now because he's on methadone. He's trying to get off, and he's in that in-between stage. And so I come out of my hallway, and Gary White, who was doing sound and managing, he said, hey, let's go down to the bar and have a beer, you know? So I'm like, okay, give me about 10 minutes. So I came out my door, and here's Chuck. He's in the hallway in his tidy whities, okay? And they're sort of like baggy, okay? We'll just say that. And there's things coming out of his underwear that shouldn't be. And, you know, and he's just kind of walking around going, hey, man, that was a good show tonight. And I said, Chuck, you're in the hallway, man. Yeah, whatever. And Dwayne, the guy that was watching him, is like, come on, Chuck, we got to go back to your room. It's like, hey, I don't want to go to my room right now. I feel good. We did a great show tonight, didn't we, Rick? And I said, yeah, Chuck, we did. We did a great show.
Could you imagine if Rick was sitting in with Motley Crue and Tommy Lee, someone's come out of his underwear? Forget it.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been his guitar pick.
Oh, too much information, Tommy. I don't want to see your junk. Come on, man. I mean, come on. Now, another time we were doing, this was with Poco. We did a show. This is pretty funny, actually. This is a good one.
Great band.
We did a show with Little River Band in St. Louis at Outdoors, right? And it was called Summerfest. I actually found the poster for this. And in Summerfest in '84, they had everyone from Waylon Jennings and Rich Little to the Go-Go's.
Wow.
I mean, just a total variety of acts for the summer. So we get there, and this gig, we flew in, so we're using rental gear, right? So I took my Jupiter 8, my synthesizer, and it's like, okay, get me a Rhodes piano and da-da-da, and we'll be good. So they hooked my stuff up, and when they did, everything I have goes through my volume pedal, so I control my volume with my foot, right? Well, Gaz, our road guy, he doesn't hook it up right. So he takes it off the back of the synthesizer, which is a straight signal, and it's up on 10. Okay, because usually I run it with my volume pedal, and so I creep it in. If I've got strings, it's like, and they come in nice and smooth and so on and so forth. So we get done, we're doing Crazy Love. And Crazy Love is a very soft, beautiful love song, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, crazy love. Ah, ba, 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 ba. And then it comes in, tonight I'm gonna break away. And right there, this real soft string pad comes in. Tonight I'm gonna, well, he's got me on full blast. So when I come in, I'm not kidding, man. When I come in, I mean, tonight I'm gonna, and I mean, it shook the stage. It was so loud. It was up full blast in the PA. It was up full blast and everything. And it shook the stage, and I'm sure a lot of people in the audience went number 2 right then. I mean, it was so loud, and it scared the hell out. It was so loud, it scared everyone,
Wow. I can imagine. Good stuff. Hey, folks, we're talking to Rick Saray, our rocker from way back, even to today. He's been around. If you need to go look and see not only what Rick was doing, but also what he's going to be doing pretty soon, go to his website, and it's Rick Serate, and it's RickSeratte.com. And you can check out a lot of what Rick's doing and what he's going to be doing as well. Rick is also going to be at the Hope for the Warriors golf tournament with me. Who's got that? Is that you, Rick? Do you have your alarm going off?
No.
Did you steal that car?
I had to pull over because I'm in the car, obviously. You see.
Oh.
And we've got an alarm going off next to us. I guess the guy lost his doggle or something, man.
Wow. Well, you got the thing going. There we go. So Rick is going to be with me at the Hope for the Warriors in Wallace, North Carolina, August 27th to 29th in 2022, in case you're watching this later. But we got to tell you, the event is already sold out because Rick's going to be there. So if you want to donate, you should go to this website. It's support.hopeforthewarriors.org, and you can donate. And you can also get information about next year because we're going to be there next year as well. So, Rick, I'm looking forward to seeing you, pal.
Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Terry, and hopefully I can play a decent game of golf.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's why they have teams.
That's like feedback.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, yeah, it's crazy.
That's when you throw something at the monitor guy. Yeah, I always had tennis balls. I would throw them at the guy.
Go ahead, go for it. Just get the video of it.
Yeah, send the real TV.
All right, hey Rick.
Well, hey man, I enjoyed talking to you guys, man. It's always a blast from the past to talk about. Oh, thank God. It's always a blast from the past to talk about the really good music that we grew up on, because you're right, man. I mean, there's good new music, but it's so sparse.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to hunt for it. And our complete business model is totally changed now. It's totally different. We're just very fortunate to have lived in that time, and we had some really amazing music. And I think it's probably going to last forever. I think you'll keep coming back and revisiting that music.
Hey, Rick, we got about 30 seconds to go, and we got some breaking news from the NFL. I hate to do this to you, buddy, but I want to get together with you and hang out. Okay, buddy?
You got to come to Vegas.
Sounds good to me, pal.
Thank you.
Yep. Hey, Rick, I'll
keep rocking regardless.
Okay, thanks, buddy. That guy was great. John, go with the breaking news, and then I'll give my reaction, your reaction.
Okay, so Deshaun Watson, 11-game suspension. The NFL and the Players Association have come to an agreement, and I think it's more than kind of what we expect. I mean, I had predicted 8 games. I can't remember what you picked, less than 8, didn't you? Because when we had the hard line on here, we were kind of
doing it. I got the hard line on a text right now. NFL got what they wanted, and I said no, they wanted a full year. They knew they weren't getting the full year, and I said, "Are you pissed at this?" And there's no response. What is your take, real quick? We got 4 minutes. What's your take?
My reaction is I think I think male football players will be happy. I think Browns fans won't be. I think female football fans probably won't be happy. And that's generalizing there. What do you think?
Exactly. You and I disagree. The NFL got almost double the 6 games.
Yep.
11 games is a lot. And a $5 million fine is really nothing. But it puts closure to this because I'm so tired of I'm excited about the NFL season, and every story starts out with Deshaun Watson. But you said something before we got – this guy was great, Rick Saray. John, you know everyone from Bryan Cranston to Johnny Bench to this guy. I'm surprised he's behind the wheel of a car. But anyways, tell the audience listening and viewing what the scenario you just said about a proposed trade, and I really loved it.
Well, and I think, this is not me coming up with this. This is something that I've read on some of the different sites. But they're talking about the Browns maybe trading with the 49ers for Jimmy Garoppolo. And to me, I think that makes sense. I think they can do it. 49ers are going to be paying most of his salary. They want to get him out of there. I think it's a good move. And the Browns at the same time too are, okay, they don't have him for 11 games, but hey, what if Garoppolo doesn't work out? Okay, you bring Deshaun Watson in. Watson, he needs snaps. So it's not like after game 12 he's going to walk in there and start throwing 400-yard games. Give me your take.
Totally agree. Yeah, you're brilliant.
Yes,
that's it. Every year, we talked about this on our I call it the daily walk. I'm in Vegas. You're in Myrtle Beach. We walk our dogs and we bullshit about everything. And sometimes these gems come out. And the gem is this. Every year in the NFL is something different. There's 15 to 20 different guys, and they have guys on one-year contracts. They don't want this to be a missed year. It's a good football team. There's a lot of talent on this team. Baker Mayfield had a lot of talent, and they fought to the end last season. Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper right now. You're exactly right. And I think they have to go 7-4 to stay in that hunt with Baltimore and Cincinnati. You agree, right? We don't get out of. We don't know what we're going to.
At least they will. And can they with Jacoby Brissett? I don't know that they can.
I don't know. Yeah. Isn't it funny though? Isn't it ironic, John, that the first game that this guy could play is at Houston in Week 12, Deshaun Watson?
Wow.
We'll talk more about this on Monday with the hard line. I want the reaction from your great mother-in-law and your beautiful wife because they're diehard Brown fans. Vicky, my wife, has a ton of family that's close to this, and now there's closure. Get us out of here, brother.
All right, folks, we're Daily Fish. We talk sports, entertainment, everything in between. We had a little politics in there, even though we didn't do too much of that today. And again, we're normally on, this was our interview show. We're normally on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can watch us on so many different channels. Just take a look. Go to our Facebook page, which is daily.fish.5 on Facebook. You can find out where and when we're going to be on. Check us out, and we got a lot more stuff. There's going to be some great stuff this weekend that I know we're going to chit-chat about. The Deshaun Watson story may be an old story by the time we get to Monday, but we are going to talk about it because we do want to get hardline with his different bets and different things that were going on. We've got a lot of more interviews coming up as well that we'll tell you about, and we're pretty excited about it.
Good. I love you, man.
Love you too, pal. Thanks.